Oh, hey, good evening. Welcome to another riveting edition of The Ghost and the Goat, starring me, your host, Paranormal Investigator, Buddy Thayer. I invite you to take me by the hand, not the beer hand, but my other hand, my free hand, if you will. And together we'll skip together into the various fields of the paranormal. This week being no exception, as our host is almost like a southern variety of me. Almost. I don't want to throw that out there, but like me and him, we got a lot in common. So tune in, boys and girls. It's going to be a really great show tonight as we welcome the paranormal. We'll flip to the paranormal in 20 minutes, as we always do. But first, we're going to talk about like a little bit of sports. What's going on in the sports world? The playoffs are starting in the NBA. The playoffs are starting in hockey. The playoffs are starting in AHL hockey, which is like the minor league hockey. Baseball is heating up, just not in Boston. Really great times. Really, the NFL draft is coming up. I'm drinking great beer. It's like 60. It was like 60. It was 79 degrees today in southern New England. It's supposed to be in the 80s tomorrow. I get shorts on, Crocs with no socks. Here we go, boys and girls. I love this time of year. It's my favorite time of year. I get to drink very light, delicious wheat beer. It's not too fattening. Still allows me to go to CrossFit in the morning and still give all that in the bag of chips. So this light blue moon, I saw her walking alone and in the cooler, and I grabbed her because she something about a dream in my heart. I don't know, she's gonna go right to my stomach. Hold on, give me a second. I like a good wheat beer. For all my beer stuff though, tune into Three Dudes Brews. We do a live show every other week. We're going to do one. We did one last Thursday. We're going to do one next Thursday. We have a guest dude or dudette, if you will, just like a fellow enthusiast. Also tune into Three Dudes Brews as we're on the cusp of releasing 4 episodes. We are like 3 months behind. Ed got stuck in the office for way too long, and he's finally going to start banging them out real soon. So stay tuned for everything. All great things just come from beer. If you drink responsibly. So tune in for everything great from Three Dudes Brews. In the sports world, like I said, the NBA playoffs are kicking off here very soon. I think the end of this week. And we got a little bit of a rundown, boys and girls, of the NBA playoffs. My glorious Celtics are the number 2 seed in the East. They're looking like more about the Celtics in just a minute. But anyway, the first round of the East in the East in the East in the NBA in the playoffs features the Detroit Pistons at number 1 versus the Charlotte Hornets at number 8. Now, usually you'd be like, dude, this is like a wicked mismatch. Detroit is dominant. They've been number 1 all season. The Celtics, as close as we've gotten, we've been unable to catch them. The Hornets are barely squeaking in. However, Charlotte ranks as second in the league in net rating, while Detroit is third. The Hornets boost an elite offense, and the Pistons, boast an elite offense, and the Pistons have a strong defense. Both teams are led with a host of players who are like absolute lottery picks and contributors to everything that the teams do. The two teams also engaged in a brawl in February, leading to the suspension for several of each team's players. The ingredients from all this set the stage for a much more compelling 1 versus 8 series than usual, but ultimately the Pistons should advance because their superior size makes them a bad matchup for the scorching Hornets. Detroit was 3-0 versus the Hornets in the regular season and outscored the Hornets 188 to 96 points during those past games. We anticipate the Pistons to. It's saying this on 6. I think the Pistons can do it in 5. I think the Pistons are a little bit more dominant than Charlotte. Anyway, speaking of dominant teams, my Boston Celtics will be hosting the Philadelphia 76ers, the number 7 seed. These two teams have played just once since November 11th, and Tatum didn't even play in that matchup against the 76ers. It would be an intriguing upset pick if Joel Embiid was definitely available because, but he's an imposing challenge for Boston's untested front line. However, with the 76ers MVP center potentially sidelined because of an emergency appendectomy. I had one of those myself. They're great time on a Friday afternoon. Boston hopes to have a full, healthy rotation, and there's no reason to expect Philadelphia to challenge the most complete team in the conference. The most complete team in the conference, ESPN says. ESPN picks them in 5, but he's going to pick them in 4. We're going to do it in 4. Next in the series, the New York Knicks travel to Atlanta. They don't travel to Atlanta. They're hosting probably most of the games versus the Atlanta Hawks, who come in at a number 6 seed. New York and Atlanta signed on an entertaining playoff preview last week, where both teams shortened their rotations into a 108 to 105 Knicks win. The margin between the two teams was incredibly close, and as the Hawks guard, C.J. McCollum would be tying half the court. He'd give a fraction of a second too late. He missed his shot. The game demonstrates that Atlanta has a real chance to upset in the series. The Hawks have a strong starting 5 and have been on fire for months. Dyson Daniels and Nickel Alexander-Walker will make a spectacle out of trying to slow down Jalen Brunson. But the Knicks' superior depth, particularly in the front court, will be the difference maker. X Factor Mitchell Robinson engaged in 5 rebounds, 4 offensive, 2 blocks, 19 minutes per game against Atlanta this season. ESPN saying the Knicks are going to do it in 7. I'm going to go on a limb and say that Atlanta does it in 7. Screw the Knicks. Screw New York. The Cleveland Cavaliers, the Cavs, coming in at the number 4 seed versus the Toronto Raptors, Raptor Man at number 5. Cleveland has more talent than Toronto, but Toronto swept the season series 3-0. The Celtics are the only other Eastern Conference team that did so against the Cavs this season because the Celtics are the most awesome team in basketball. But don't read too much into that. Regular season results, as I just said that, all 3 games took place before Thanksgiving, meaning that James Harden wasn't on the Cavs roster yet. And Larry Nance Jr., DeAndre Hunter, and Lorenzo Bell started in those games for the Cavs. Didn't start in those games versus the Cavs due to serious injuries. So, 2 totally different teams. ESPN has the Cavs doing it in 5. I'm going to say the Cavs in 6, but I think it's the Cavaliers. Then it's Detroit versus the Cavaliers. Detroit's going to run all over the Cavaliers. Boston versus New York. No, it'll be Boston versus Atlanta. Would it be Boston versus Atlanta? Yeah. We're going to beat up on either team. The Celtics are going to the NBA Finals. The Celtics are going to win the NBA Finals. That's my prediction. The hell with however else gets there. However, I think it will be versus OKC. I think it'll be a rough ride, but I think Boston's got the moxie. I think we pull it through. I think we win another championship with the Celtics. That's all I got for you for basketball. In hockey, I'm not a big hockey cat. I did attend the final home game of the season, the Providence Bruins, as they hosted Springfield. I think the Wildcats or the Springfield Junkies, maybe. And it was a hell of a game. Not a single goal was scored until the last 3 minutes of the game, and Providence was able to tack one on. Thank God. She said, "Oh my, it was such a boring game, boys and girls." I went with a client of mine. We usually sit down down by the glass, with the adults. Instead, let's pay $20 a ticket. Let's sit up here, Bob. It'd be great. Yeah, no, not really that great. 10,000 kids came down every 5 minutes to dance in front of the cameras and stuff. Totally blocked out view. Stepping on a disabled man's feet. He was just really annoyed. But he was thrilled that the Bruins won, and the Bruins have the P Bruins. The Boston Bruins are looking to face. I think they're looking to face Buffalo in the first round of the playoffs. Not either Buffalo or Carolina, I believe. I think it depends on a game. can't tell you that much about the Boston Bruins. The Providence Bruins are the best team in farm league hockey. They only have 14 losses. However, every time I've seen them play this year, they've lost. But I don't think that means anything. I'm told that they're the they get the number one seed in that league, and hopefully some really good future stars there of Boston will shine and bring home the Calder Cup to Providence. In baseball, oh my God! So it started great in Boston. We got a win against the Reds, one win, and then we lost the next two games, and then we got our asses kicked some more, and then we won one game, and then we got our asses kicked some more, and then it was like two wins and 8 losses last week. And then Boston, everybody in Boston's like, oh my God, fire Cora, like crashed the team on a plane. Everybody's like the end of the world. And then the Red Sox went on a tear, and they won 4 out of 5 games, 4-1. Great. Had some really great victories, really great, energy on the field and stuff. You really got to feel. You thinking like, hey, this is just April. This is a very long season. It's still a very long season. Last night, the Red Sox went into Minnesota with their ace, Garrett Crochet. This guy does it every time. This guy sucked a giant bunghole last night. He gave up like 10 runs off of 9 hits in the first inning. Then they took him out and they gave up a few more runs. They ended up losing 13-6. It was a small rally in the end of the game, but nothing enough to push them past 6 runs. They're on right now. They're getting beat up right now. Well, they're not getting beat up, but it's 1-0 the Twins, of course. They just started, though, about 20 minutes ago or so. So it didn't take that long for the Red Sox to top of the third, already down, 1 out. The Sox are up. Nobody's on base. Also in good news, though, the Yankees are losing against the Angels. So go Angels. Nothing really else much in baseball news that I can mention. It's been depressing being here in Boston. All these stupid Yankee fans celebrating because they won like the first 5 games of the season. It's a long sport, boys and girls. It goes to the end of September. You're going to hear me piss and moan and cry about the Red Sox for the entire season. Total disclaimer. They're just not great. What is great, though, however, it's 8:20. And I'm going to take a sip of my beer. This is Blue Moon, Belgian White. Really great. Nice light beer almost. It's not a light beer, but it's very light this time of year. Okay. Another lovely part of my day. Please welcome to the show my lovely and charming co-host, Jai.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Are you a masshole again?
Yes, I'm a masshole again. It's official.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Oh, nice. Did you have a nice week off?
Yes.
We were off last week. We were supposed to have on. He was a really great guest. I can't remember his name. I did rebook him for May. He works with blind people in the paranormal. I thought it kind of touches close at home to me because my mother's legally blind and she has seen apparitions. So I'm like, oh, this would be great. So we ended up rebooking him. I ended up having to work. My father had a surgery, so I had to switch. It was too much information, buddy. But long story short, I ended up working. So it was it's unfortunate we had to cancel, but it is what it is. Shit happens. This is life, unfortunately. Speaking of life and death and dead people, tonight's guest, he's a paranormal investigator of sorts. He's the founder of the Heritage Hunters Society based in Raleigh, North Carolina. He's also the creator and producer of Journey Through the Past series that shares his travels to many haunted historical locations. This is what I was talking about a little while ago, boys and girls. You can watch all of his projects on Journey Through the Past TV on YouTube. Please welcome to the show, Michael Chiana. Michael, hold on, Michael. Hey, Mike, how you doing, dude?
Hey, hello, everybody. How you doing?
Hello.
Very good, sir. Very good.
How are you?
Doing great. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you too, sir. So, Michael, paranormal investigator. How long you been doing this, and what got you into it?
Well, my first experience was 1978 when
Mm,
I was 14. So that's a long time. Um, Over the years, I've traveled a lot. When I moved to North Carolina in the early 90s, um, I started visiting a lot of historical places and
yeah,
having a lot of paranormal experiences during those visits. And that's when I started the Heritage Hunter Society to
nice.
research history and the paranormal and see how it connects.
It has a wonderful connection. Let me just ask you: when you were 14, you had your first experience. Was it in a home that you lived in, or was it like
Yes,
somewhere? Yeah, it's
yes.
that's
I grew up in Long Island, New York,
oh,
and
nice.
I was a budding musician. And I went out and bought a Pioneer reel-to-reel um, back in 1978, and I started doing demos on that. And then I learned of a method to try and record spirits, and I tried it, and I actually captured something really crazy with it. Not using microphones at all; it was plugged directly into a stereo receiver,
Really?
and it went directly to zero, pure static, and just let it run. And captured a man yelling and screaming at the top of his lungs.
Wow.
So that kind of put me on the path. Um,
Oh yeah.
but,
Oh,
you know,
that's
yeah.
as an investigator. I often remember my first DVP, and my first one was like barely a whisper. I could barely make it out. But when I heard what it was saying, I'm like, oh my god, that makes so much sense now. But that's so much more different. I mean, they're all
Oh yeah.
different variations.
Yeah.
For me, I've been investigating since about 2008. After like yourself, various experiences.
Sure.
I've always been drawn to the historical side of the paranormal. There is such a huge tie to the paranormal and history, and as a history dork myself, it's great to have that availability to go into like historical places and explore them, but also explore the paranormal that might happen to be there. What is maybe some of your favorite places to explore historically and paranormal?
Oh, I've been around the world. My favorite is probably the catacombs in Paris. Um, Went down there and did some investigating.
Hmm.
Been to England, been to Spain, but even here in the United States, so many great places to go. My favorite place here is Gettysburg.
Oh, of
Um,
course.
so many great things there over the
We're,
years.
we're in Gettysburg. We're in Gettysburg. Would you say? Because it's a big battlefield. It's a big town.
Oh yeah,
It's outside the town. It's outside the battlefield. People don't realize when you say
I
Gettysburg, it could mean
oh,
various
yeah.
locations. So
I
where
love the town.
specifically?
I've had more experiences in the town itself and captured more evidence and photos and different things in the town. Gettysburg campus, community college there, and
Yep,
just in the hotels there. The David Stewart Farm is one of my favorite places to go and stay. It's a 100-acre farm that, of course, like many of the farms there, were field hospitals. And when you stay there, you have the entire place to yourself for the whole weekend.
that's
The owner
awesome.
is amazing. Half the time she's never there. She basically just lets you have the entire place to yourself.
Yep,
And that's right down the road from Zach's Bridge. And so I love that area.
that's
I
great.
don't capture a lot of things on the battlefields. I really
Yep.
haven't over the years. It's always
Well,
been
you don't necessarily get the opportunity to investigate at night on the battlefield. Also, you can
right,
only
right. And even when it
um,
was dark, when we were able to be out there till 10 o'clock at night, we didn't get a lot of stuff. Like I said, I put more things in town. I just think that the spirits like hanging out with people and
yep.
where people are. So, yeah, there's so many different realms of it. But yeah, I love Gettysburg.
Yeah, I had actually had the opportunity to I'm going out. I go out to Gettysburg. I try as a dork. I try and go out there at least once a year for like the last 10
Oh yeah,
years.
right.
So one of my best friends, one of my closest friends, he's also a historic history dork. He's in the military. The historian for the Rhode Island National Guard. Really into it hardcore. So he got posted down in Virginia, down in Washington D.C. For some school and stuff through the military. So I've been taking a total advantage of that and going down there as much as possible and going to different battlefields in Virginia because there's so many. But I mean Gettysburg, I'm going to on Memorial Day weekend this year. I'm meeting him in Gettysburg. I'm taking my girlfriend with me, who recently found out we're going to Gettysburg, wasn't as dorky in the at all history or at all in paranormal as I am.
Yeah, you
by a
have to
lot.
be into it, otherwise it's not as much fun.
Oh yeah, right, for sure. But it sometimes that's how it finds us. Like for me, I was always a skeptic, and I always said no, it's not real. No, it's not real. And I had so many experiences. I just like tried to excuse it, and you just can't after a while.
Yeah. Well, you try and debunk everything. That's
Yep,
important.
for sure, for
Uh,
sure.
Getty's, I think I've been there 12 times, and I've had experiences every time I've gone. Captured
Wow.
things, photos, EVPs. Saw an apparition right here, right in front of my face,
Oh
right at
wow.
Jack's Bridge. Sucked the
it's Sykes
wind
Ridge.
right out of me. I mean, it was right here, and it sucked the wind right out of me. I was like,
Really?
yeah.
So that was at the bridge, right? That's
Yeah,
a common.
the bridge and the little path that goes down to the little stream there.
Yep.
That little path to the side. We were walking in the dark, and somebody took a picture behind me over my head. And just as the flash went off, I saw this thing covered in burlap right in front of me for a split second, and I'll never forget it. It was like burned in my brain. And I
So
couldn't
like
see a face, but it was like, and it was really like decayed burlap. Maybe a man 5'2". That's the
Oh,
height
wow.
I have, and right in front of me for that split second, and it was pretty wild.
Well, that's pretty insane, man. That's
Yeah.
not everybody gets those experiences of. Do you think it was like a residual apparition, or do you think it was someone trying to get your attention?
For me, for all the years I've been doing this, 95% of what I deal with is intelligent. Because I'll ask a question and it gives me a response to my, question, and
Yep.
And things interact. I have very little experience in residuals, so which I'm happy because I like intelligent better. So.
For sure.
But
Yeah,
I'm
for
sure
sure.
something like that could have been, something that keeps showing up. I know another investigator, when I was describing it to her, she said, "Oh, you saw Brownie." And I said, "Oh, Brownie, you know him?" She goes, "Oh yeah, I've seen him. Yeah, covered in burlap, right?" I'm like, "Yep, that's it."
A brownie? Is that what she?
That's her nickname for this guy.
Oh, for
Brownie.
yeah.
It was the brown.
Oh yeah. Well, so it happens so often that she has a nickname for it.
Well, she's an investigator, and she's a tour guide at the Jenny Wade House, and she does a lot of tours throughout. She lives in Gettysburg, and she's done tours over the years.
That's awesome.
So it's nice to have friends like that have.
Oh my God, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. I had the opportunity to book a room at it was like a haunted not bed and breakfast, maybe it was bed and breakfast hotel, but it was an old battlefield hospital. And then I found out my girlfriend was coming on. Yeah, no, I'm gonna change the venue. I think she'll shit her pants if she wakes up and there's a dude in the room.
The Daniel lady, or do you remember the name?
I'm sorry. What's that?
What was the name of? Do you remember the name of the place?
I don't remember the name of the place. No. It was.
Place,
Yeah. I'm sure. I've heard about. Another friend of mine who's a historian, runs a museum down here, up here in Rhode Island. He was at a bed and breakfast right outside the battlefield, and he was sitting at the breakfast table, and the fork and the knife and the spoon set he moved over like 3 or 4 feet across the table all by itself. He's like, dude, I was freaked out. He's a ghost guy. He totally believes in everything. He's just more of a history guy, obviously, but yeah, like I said, sometimes it just comes to you whether you're looking for it or not.
Well, it's usually when you're not looking for it. That's when it happens.
Yeah, for sure. Other Gettysburg seems like the go-to Civil War battlefield that people go to and have experiences. But honestly, myself, I was at Spotsylvania Courthouse in Virginia at the Mule Shoe Salient. I don't know if you're familiar, but it was like October. It was like 75 degrees. It's gorgeous down there in Virginia. Yeah. And my friend and I, we walked through a spot on that battlefield line, and it had to be like, went from like 75 beautiful 80 degrees to like 40 degrees. He's like, whoa, he stopped. He's like, oh, dude, you feel that cold spot? I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like just give you the wicked creeps.
And where was that in Virginia?
Spotsylvania Courthouse. So that's the Mule Shoe Salient, that little like horseshoe. Yeah. Where like so many thousands and thousands of men died in hand-to-hand combat. It was
I've been to Appomattox Courthouse.
I saw that. I saw that on your page. I was going to ask you about that next.
I'm
So you
not
were
sure. I sent you some EVPs. I'm not sure which ones I sent you, but to go there and be there where Lee and Grant signed the peace treaty and all.
and
And like
surrendered.
I say,
Yeah,
it wasn't
that's
in the actual courthouse there. It was actually in the McLean house, which was, just up the road a little bit. And to go in there, and I was upstairs by myself, and I had my recorder and camera going, and I actually captured 2 or 3 really good EVPs up there. And
really
I'm glad I didn't hear them with my ears at the time because it was pretty threatening.
wow. Was it
Yeah.
like Civil War based? Was it that era? You think?
Oh yeah, I can't say that it was Lee or Grant. I would never speculate that.
Well,
but
yeah, no, you really
somebody
couldn't.
said they wanted to stab me, so I was like, okay,
Oh wow.
well, I didn't hear that.
Now, Frank McLean, the guy who owned the farm where they surrendered in. Do you know that history at all? Do you know his other story about his other house?
Well, he had many houses, and that wasn't. I know that house, the original house there was not there; it was taken down, and then they stored all the materials from that building, and then they eventually brought it to that area and reconstructed it.
Yep.
So it proves. I mean, I was in there and I was capturing things, even though it was a reconstructed building. I'm still capturing things that were from the past. I'm assuming so. It's very
I find it fascinating the story of the McLeans because they in the beginning of the war they were living up in Manassas.
Yeah.
And he moved his family south and so far away from Richmond, so far away from anything warlike out that area. Oh man, my serial stuff. Jai, I'm still getting feedback. I'm sorry, I can't talk to you on private chat because my keyboard is effing up. But
I know that the saying with him was he said that the Civil War started in his front yard
and ended
in his parlor.
In his parlor, and that's very much true from what I understand. It was like like facing the battlefield of at Manassas, and then
right, and then for it to end there, and that wasn't planned. That's just where they wound up.
Just how shit happens. It's
yeah. So
coinky dink, I guess they would call it nowadays. I don't know.
Yes. And what about you, young lady? What's your experience? Where'd you go?
Oh, she was having feedback issues. So
she's having feedback.
Yeah, I was hearing like children in her living room.
Oh,
and, so it's a mic issues and camera. It's okay. Jai will get back to us when she needs to. Jai, I can tell you about Jai. When she lived out in Ohio, when she was younger, she had a lot of experiences as a kid. She grew up and she moved out to Hollywood for a bit. She worked with some people out there. Lemmy from Motorhead, she was his personal assistant, and then we ended up. I met Jai about probably 3 years ago with another podcast, and
interesting.
So she's experienced the paranormal, and I've experienced and investigated the paranormal.
Is she in Rhode Island as well?
She she just moved back from Ohio. She didn't out in Massachusetts now.
Oh, okay, so, Massachusetts. I grew up in New England, in New Hampshire.
I love New Hampshire. Oh my god!
And we had a summer place up there on a lake for 36 years. So
which lake?
It's where Franklin Pierce College is. It's called Pearly Pond, and it's
in New
Hampshire.
Yep.
And beautiful place. Love living up there. And
it's gorgeous. I vacation up that way every year. I go on a boys trip. It's right on the Maine New Hampshire border, literally. But it's called Lake Umbagog. It's probably like 6 hours north. It's completely remote, middle of the mountains. Nothing but loons and moose, and like great beer and good friends and great fishing. So, oh my god, I love New Hampshire.
I was in southern New Hampshire, right 20 minutes from the border of Mass. So
that's not too bad. So, right up the road,
I loved it. I loved Keene, New Hampshire.
I know. I know Keene. I got a friend who went to Keene.
Huge college town. And,
sure.
Loved growing up there. So I miss it. I'm here in North Carolina since '92. So, but I love it here too. There's so many.
North Carolina is gorgeous.
History and the mountains are incredible. The beaches are incredible, and so many haunted places just in this state alone. So,
for sure. Whereabouts in North Carolina? You're in Raleigh, right? You said.
I'm just outside of Raleigh. Yeah.
Raleigh. Yeah, I got family outside of Charlotte, and then just over the border in South Carolina. It's gorgeous down there. Jai, welcome back to the show, honey. I don't hear any feedback.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can hear you. That's wonderful.
I think my mic volume was too loud. I had to go out so I could adjust it.
Oh, that's fine. That's cool. You're coming through good now. He was just asking what your background was right as you blipped out, and I told him Ohio paranormal experiences as a kid, Hollywood, Lemmy is God.
Lemmy was the
Um,
man. Lemmy.
Yeah, he was. He was like a
He was.
second father to me.
Oh yeah,
believe it or
we've
not.
lost all our great artists, Ozzy
Okay.
and Lemmy,
Yes.
and so many great people.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
met
Anyone stick
so
around
many of
forever,
them.
you know how it is.
Right. I was just glad I got the opportunity to meet them all because
Yeah.
they all
Yeah.
came to Lemmy's funeral. So I like
Oh,
all
that's,
in one day I got to meet everybody.
oh
And
yeah.
I
Jesus.
got to hang out with Slash
Oh
at his
nice.
Wow.
house and stuff like that.
And
So
how many years did you live in California?
7.
Oh, that's a good amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I love the
enjoyed it.
history of California, especially the late '60s, early '70s. You know, all the artists from
Yeah.
Oh
there.
my God! Yeah, all the action that was
Laurel
going on over
Canyon
there.
and all that. You know.
Charlie
Yeah.
Manson, all that crazy shit in the
Oh
'60s.
yeah.
We actually had a guest on a few weeks ago. He was from California. He wrote a ton of books
Oh,
on I forget his name, on different hauntings around California and stuff. It's got a tremendous history out there in California. They're not as old as we are here in New England, but
right.
oh my God, a lot of weird shit like the Winchester Castle,
Oh yeah.
Alcatraz,
Yeah.
a lot of weird shit
I
at
have a
Death
good friend
Valley.
that's in San Diego, and she runs San Diego Paranormal, and she's an author. She's on the Queen Mary like every weekend. You
Yep.
know, she's written probably, I don't know, 10 or 15 books on the Queen Mary and
Jesus.
all the different experiences that she's had. So I'm looking forward to going out there and hanging with her and investigating shit. You know.
Yeah, I was totally clueless on the Queen. Like I've heard of it, but like I didn't know it was.
Oh,
I've heard it's haunted, but I
That's
didn't hear
awesome.
it. Oh my God!
yeah,
It sounds like it's like next level.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of ships, we've I've rented the Battleship North Carolina several times.
Oh yeah.
Book teams on there, just like 12 people to have the entire ship for 12 hours.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, we got a lot of good stuff. But
Mhm.
a ship like that, you really have to work hard because it's so
Yeah.
massive and so big. And,
Yeah, they're huge. Even like the small
Oh,
ones are
yeah.
huge.
Yeah, and there were really no stairs. Everything was ladders, up and down ladders to get to different sections, and it was a workout. I was like, man, I said, I don't know if I could do it now. I'm a lot older. I said, I don't know if I could do it now.
That like World War II class is that about that time of?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
during the war. Yeah, World War II. That was
Oh
the thing.
man.
Battleship North
Yeah, I
Carolina.
went to I was in Charleston right around like New Year's Eve. Right around then.
Right.
Freaking gorgeous. It was in shorts, and we went on the there's an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, I can't remember the name.
I'm not sure the name of it, but oh
New
my
York.
God,
New York is
it was like endless, dude. It just kept going on and on and on. But we did an investigation here. It was actually in Massachusetts. It's in Quincy on the USS Salem. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's like a light. I want to say it's like a light frigate. It was one of the flagships of the fleet back in the 50s and 60s during the Cold War.
Oh yeah.
And it was in Greece for an earthquake, so there were a few civilians who might have died on the ship.
Sure.
But just like such energy. Oh my God.
Oh.
A giant like iron vessel floating on the moving water. That eerie quietness. Holy shit. It's just
Have you ever done a lot of investigating in Boston?
No, actually that was the only time I've been to Salem about a dozen times. I've skipped around the cemeteries. I go to every cemetery I possibly can, everywhere in Boston included. But I haven't investigated in Boston yet. No.
Right. Quincy Market. Gotta get down there.
Yeah, right. I mean, there's a ton of old locations that I'd love to hit. But there are so many here in Rhode Island. Honestly, I do a lot of residential, a lot of people's houses over the years, and that has been like absolutely. Sometimes some of the residential cases are more amazing than anything I've ever paid for to go in and do. So, it's like we have Fort Adams, which is one of the largest forts in North America. Absolutely, like amazing King Philip's War history. Revolutionary War history. I lost Guy. Hold on, Guy, you okay? Was that me or you?
What happened? You.
I think I hit a button somewhere. I'm sorry. Totally
Okay,
unintentional.
I'll eat her.
Yeah.
So,
just do me.
Jay, I'm going to throw it at you. I've been sitting here talking for a while. You've been working on shit. Why don't you you got a question for our guest?
What is an experience that just stands out to you beyond the rest?
Of all the cases I've done over the years,
Yes.
that's a loaded question, man. I got so many experiences.
Right.
I'd have to say, going to England was probably one of my favorites. I've been to Paris, I've been to England, but I had a friend that lived in England, still lives there, and I never got to meet her in person. So when I was going there, I said to her, I said, "Hey," I said, "I'm coming to town." I said, "Take me to your most haunted place that you like." She was with London Paranormal, and she said, "Okay, well, I'll take you over to St. James area, and there's a haunted tavern. It's called a Gin Palace, and
Nice.
we'll go over there and we'll go check it out." And this was 10 o'clock in the morning, and so we got there, and it was open, and then people were in there drinking and having pints, and so we had a pint.
Nice.
That was our
Nice.
breakfast.
I
And
gotta get to England.
with that, the manager came over, and he was just saying hello, and we were talking about what we do, and he said, "Oh, would you like me to show you around?" I said, "Oh, absolutely." So I, of course, brought all my equipment with me, my recorders and cameras, and it was a 4-story building. And so the basement was prison cells. The first floor was the gin palace. The second and third floor were opium dens, and the
Oh,
fourth
boy.
floor was the bordello. So I was like, "Well, this is a hell of a place to come." So
Good times. Good
and it was
times.
all abandoned. The other upper floors were all abandoned. And we did about an hour. We walked around and just did our thing. And man, I captured so many EVPs. And this is like 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, this is early. And captured some really good things. The EVPs, the voices had the British accents, the English accents. So that was really cool to, be asking a question and then getting a British lady answering.
Right.
So that was really cool.
That is cool.
One of my favorite places. And I've been to the Tower of London several times.
That's amazing, dude.
That's amazing there, the Tower of
So
London.
much blood has been spilled in that, and so much horrible emotion. You got to imagine how
And
much
through the
energy
different
is
countries,
trapped.
it was torn down. Whoever was, ruling it at that time, they would tear it down and they would renovate it the way they wanted.
Mhm.
And it was very interesting.
I'm sure that caused a lot of activity.
Oh yeah, definitely. But that's a fascinating place to go. And then I also did the Jack the Ripper tour, where I actually walked the streets where Jack the Ripper was and where he killed all the women. And we went to the different locations. It was getting dark. It was only 3 of us on the tour. It was the tour guide and me and my son, and that was it. And it got very creepy at certain points. And now Whitechapel is all Muslim, and so that was
Really?
even creepier because we were there and it was getting dark and we could feel that we're not supposed to be in these neighborhoods, and they were all looking at us like really suspicious, like, what are you doing here? And so that was fascinating to walk those streets.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. So the Tower of London, or the first place you talked about,
the Viaduct Gin Palace.
Right? So the tavern, were these like in the moment experiences, or were you like, was it afterwards? Did you get an EVP and you went back and you listened to? How did it?
Most of it was EVPs that I captured that we didn't hear at the time, but just being there and being on these upper floors that were now empty and kind of abandoned, you could just feel the presence up there. I mean, it was like 70 degrees outside, and it was like 45 inside in these different rooms. And like you said, I'm like, why is it so cold? And I looked around. There's no air ducts or anything. There's no heating systems or air conditioning systems. So I'm a plumbing contractor by trade, and so I use a lot of my skills for my trade. Heating and air, electrical, plumbing, to work things. And there was nothing. And I was like, man, why is it's like a freezer in here? So to me, I just think there's a lot of spirits up there, and I did get, especially on the floor with the bordello, I definitely think I got a few women of the night responding to me because of the things they're saying. So that was very interesting.
Wow.
Oh, that's really cool.
That is.
Thank you. Especially the English accent, I think is cool. I have a friend who investigated in Wales, and he did a bunch of sessions in this old like castle or whatever, and he didn't get anything until he started speaking Welsh, and they got responses in Welsh.
Sure.
You know, you got to imagine they would speak in their own tongue. They're not going to speak to you in your language,
right?
Or there
almost
won't
like
be
them. Yeah,
a ghost translator or something, you know, or a sign language
coming in and just disrupting their lives, you know. So I am planning to go to Scotland next year. I've never been there. Never been to Ireland or Scotland, so I'm looking forward to hitting some castles over there. You know?
It's on my bucket list for sure. Both countries. So North Carolina. Other than the battleship, the battleship's down at Wilmington, correct? It's in the southern half of the state.
Wilmington is that's down by the coast.
That's on the coast. Anywhere inland that people in like the Charlotte area that anybody could investigate or.
Oh yeah. Well, my favorite is the mountains, the mountain regions, the foothills of the mountains, Wilkesboro. I don't know if you've ever heard of Tom Dooley. Tom Dooley. Tom Dooley. Well, Tom Dooley was a real person, and it was a real murder mystery. And we actually were able to investigate the jail where he was held for probably 2 or 3 years. We had access to investigating with the historian there. And actually, for my TV series, there is the ghost of Tom Dooley. And we actually captured a man. We asked who killed Laura Foster. That was the young lady that was murdered. And we actually got a mail telling us who killed her. So very interesting, and tons of history up that way. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I bet.
That's my favorite.
You got a lot of Native American stuff down there. You got a lot of Cherokee history in the Carolinas.
Cherokee, sure, yeah. A little bit of everything. You know, we got American history. We have the Indians. We have Revolutionary. We have Civil War. So mix of everything. Yeah, it's really
cool. A lot of American Revolutionary battles took place in the Carolinas.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how far back it might possibly go. I had my uncle-in-law. He lived in just west of Charlotte. He lives in Mount Holly now, but he lives a little further south. I forgot the name of the town. He's like, he's a contractor. He's a little short guy. He's a wicked ball buster, but he's not a really big superstitious. He's not a big ghosty guy. But he's like, I walked down to the end of my driveway. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning. I bent over. I picked up the paper. I stood up. And I saw a man. He was crossing the street. He walked into my yard. He walked through my woods, and he disappeared into my yard. He's like, he was an Indian. I swear to God, he was an Indian. He's like, I want you to do the history. I don't know anything about this area I live in. I don't know anything about, whatever. He's like, could it have been an Indian? Could it have been something else? Sure enough, like right up the road, right where that in the general vicinity that Indian was going, there was a tribe called Catawba tribe, and they were like huge down there. They had a tribe right on the Catawba River. Yeah, ironically enough, they had the river named after them.
Yeah, it's a big town. In this area, sure. We probably had 7 or 8 different tribes in North Carolina here. So the history is amazing. I've never been fortunate enough to capture anything with Indians as far as American Indians or anything like that yet. But keep trying. I am doing a case right now where the man was he was a general in the American Revolution, and the land that he originally owned was 5,000-acre plantation, and now that land is North Carolina State University, and so there's a lot of property there, and he was buried. He passed away in 1799. And I actually got I was at his grave, and I actually got a recording of him. So that EVP is 227 years old. So that's probably one of my oldest captures yet, which I love to try and see how far back I can go.
The age of spirit. Yeah. What do you think makes some hold on for like hundreds or even thousands of years, where others not even like a year, not even like they don't hang on? What do you think?
First of all, I think that they're all right here. I don't think they're very far from us at all. They're like right here. They're right here. They're not up in the sky. They're not in the ground. There's no flames. I don't believe in any of that. I believe that spirit and energy is right around us all.
Mhm.
It's just like a Wi-Fi. We can't see the Wi-Fi, but it's there.
It's definitely there, though. Yeah, for
Look
sure.
at Tesla. Look what he created back in his day, and wanting to do wireless electric, for everybody, no wires, and that was back in his day. So I do
Right.
believe that the spirit energy is all around us, and if you're good at what you do and you're passionate, and you're intense, and you're serious, you could connect with whatever's in the area. So some people say, "Well, I'll go to this house, and this house will be haunted." I think every house is haunted.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
To some
potentially.
extent. Yeah.
That are there. I work in historical homes for a living. I own
Mhm.
Heritage Plumbing, and so I work in historical neighborhoods. And I've had a lot of experiences over the years while working in the homes,
Mhm.
paranormal activity while I'm busy working. So yeah, they're just there. They're just in their time. I do believe that a lot of spirits are still living in their time, just like we're living in our time. And
Mhm.
when the vibrations are right, or when everything is just right, that's when we'll have an experience where we'll see each other.
It's crazy, dude. It's like I work with a medium, and she was like, I work with a few mediums, but this one in particular, she's like, it's like some of us are in different dimensions than others. Some of the dimensions are closer, where others are like more distant. Like the guys who are like so. For example, we went to a King Philip's War battle site. It happened in 1676. It was a village. Whole bunch of colonists came in and absolutely just burned them alive and slaughtered them.
Right.
But she described like some of them like chopping wood or making breakfast, that more like doing things, and they don't even notice that we're there. And others that are like right there in the same, like trying to interact with us, trying to talk with us. And I have an EVP. It sounds like her and I hear it in the moment. It sounds like a woman. I have these headphones on that plugged into my recorder. And it sounds like a woman in the woods. We're in the middle of nowhere, by the way, middle of woods. We hiked out there a good half hour through the woods to get there, and you hear what sounds like a woman screaming. I'm like,
Oh,
do you hear anything? And the two guys we're with, they're like filmmakers, they're locals, and they're like, no, what did you hear? I'm like, I kind of heard somebody in the woods. And like, not that one of the guys is like, I can hear traffic on the highway, like in the distance, but I don't hear any people. I'm like, no, this was definitely a person in the woods. And the girl with us, Christine, she's like, you heard a woman screaming. Like, yes. So, but then when I went back and I listened to the audio, the woman wasn't actually screaming. The woman was clear as day saying, I can see you. Holy. Love it. Love that kind of stuff. Love it. And stuff like that, like I could spend hours and hours, and I have, and I will again. Years watching and listening to video and listening to audio, and there's absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Anybody that doesn't really like the audio end of this work, I don't know what they're even doing in this field, because it's so amazing when you capture, and especially if you're by yourself and you're quiet and you keep your area well contained to be quiet and no noise contamination, and you tag everything. If you're a good investigator, every sound you hear, you tag. That way, if you capture something and it wasn't tagged, you're like, okay, well, I didn't tag that, so
right. What was it? Right.
Yeah. I mean, I have several recordings from Gettysburg where spirits are right near me, and they're like, "Am I dead?" I mean, they don't even know they're dead. I mean, they're still fighting. And I have a clear recording saying, "Am I dead?" I mean, he was like so shocked, like he just found out that he was dead, and he was asking me. And I was like,
Jesus.
Wow.
What have you been doing for the last 150 years?
Fighting.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Still fighting the war.
Oh my
it's kind
God.
of sad, that they're still fighting.
It is. No, what do you in your thought? What do you think is more some conscious ability to like remember and to interact with the living, where others are like on their own planet? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think like for good investigators, people that are really seasoned and very passionate and don't fall for all this garbage that's out there in this paranormal field of
oh my God, this is so much
Dog
garbage.
and Pony show, which you know what I'm talking about. So I think that passion, intent, respect. This is what you bring wherever you go, and if you're sincere and genuine, you will connect with whatever's there, and that's important to do. there aren't too many places I don't go that I don't capture things, but it's also the method that I use. So recorders, I use very good recorders. I'm a musician, so I have a good background with
Yes.
recording
Yep.
bands and stuff over the years, and it's very lucky to work in a little studio doing demos with my partner,
Nice.
where we had to record all the music, sing all the songs, and do everything and edit it in one night because we would get free recording. And it was an old 7-Eleven that was converted into a studio out on Long Island, and so we would go at like 6 in the evening, and we wouldn't finish till 2, 3 in the morning, and then of course I had to go to work the next day. But so
What
that was really
instruments
what's
do you
that?
play? What
I
instruments
play
do you play?
guitar and keyboards. I
Okay.
love Stevie Ray Vaughan. That was my man.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
See him 7 times. I got to see him a few weeks before he died.
Jesus.
Just love R&B. I love all music,
Mhm.
but that's my favorite is rock and roll, hard rock, soft rock.
That
70s,
bluesy, that
Yeah.
bluesy, rocky riff.
When
Yeah.
you see Stevie Ray Vaughan play several times, and you're a fan, it's like I guess the other generation's Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
But to me, he was even better than Hendrix, and Hendrix was great too. But I think Stevie was just he was out of body, his
Mhm.
So yeah, but I think that's very important. And like I said, I don't feel that spirits are very far away from us. That's why, like when I go to so many places, I capture things because I don't feel that they're like coming down from the heavens or whatever. I don't believe that. I feel that they're 12 inches maybe to the left or right, or 12 inches up. And that's my opinion. That's just my belief. Everybody's entitled to their own belief.
Of course.
Do you,
What do you
do
what do
you
you what do you Oh, go ahead, Jay.
do you
No,
believe
you.
in cryptids?
I do. I have no experiences in it, and I stay so focused on what I do in the spirit world that I don't. I have a lot of friends that are into the cryptics and Bigfoot and all that. I just I don't have the time for it. I just love history, and I love to see once you get connected with spirits and historical locations. Like I've been to Mount Vernon, I've been to
Yeah.
Monticello. I've actually gotten some really good EVPs at Monticello, out
Really?
out in the gardens, and I
Wow.
do believe it's probably the slaves that work
Yeah.
there. Oh yeah, but I love to go to really historical places and see how I can capture something there. So yeah, and I do have friends that run cryptic groups, and they go all over the states. I have a friend that's up in north of here that runs a museum, paranormal and cryptic. And there's the state park there where he's actually seen and captured a lot of things. But
Wow.
I just don't have the same passion, I guess,
Right.
as I like to stay focused on what I am, and
Yes.
I'm a hardcore investigator. So, and there's nothing wrong, but I don't see a lot of evidence from the cryptic world.
That's it.
Right.
There's
That
that one video
Yeah.
from like 1973.
From the early 70s, right?
There's not a hell of a lot of other than that, honestly.
And nowadays,
Like, bring me your
AI,
videos. Show me your stuff. I want to see it.
Yeah.
But nobody ever.
Well,
They have those.
footprints, so anybody can make a mold of a footprint. So
Right.
I
The
don't
tree
know.
limbs bending. I mean, anybody could
Yeah.
be doing that. It could be
Yeah.
one guy just traveling the
Yeah.
country just doing
But
it.
if I had to believe in anything
Right.
about Bigfoot, I would say Bigfoot is probably a ghost, or could be part animal, part, and be able to disappear like a ghost. Why
Right.
else is it that nobody's ever really captured some amazing, like where's the bones? Where's all the bodies, of Bigfoot and different things? And I'm sure people
Like an
have,
elemental or something like
yeah, it's
that.
just
Yeah.
in the and really our paranormal community has only exploded in the last 20 years. If you think about
Mhm.
it,
Right.
because before that we didn't have computers, and I grew up on In Search Of, Leonard Nimoy,
Yeah.
and all those shows, and I love those shows because it really made you think. But we're just really starting this present 20 years and moving forward that we're able to capture.
Oh, they had the Ghost Club in Great Britain in the latter half of the 1800s, and that was like a lot of scholars kind of like
Yeah.
trying to like investigate almost. I feel like
I'm sure they had a lot of experiences, but
Yeah.
they did. I mean, photography really didn't start till 1840s, late
Mhm.
1840s. So if they did capture some things, that'd be very hard to capture a spirit with the cameras they had back then.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know,
Just hold on for 30 minutes. Let me pour the.
okay, smile. You know? But it's still fascinating. Yeah, I just think it's once you get really into it and you've had experiences, I can't see how you wouldn't want to continue but it takes a certain person to really be in the field, and not about the commercialism or these TV shows or any of this.
Any of that shit. No.
It's crap. It's really crap. And when people are making everything about them and not the spirit, that pisses me off, because we're just like I'm a plumbing contractor for 40 years. Well, I'm also a paranormal investigator for 30 or 40 years. And that's just my job, to be good at what I do and go in and collect that evidence and then share it with other people and talk about it and do shows like this, because this is what it's really about, sharing. It should not be about these egomaniacs that are out there, and I can't stand them.
Right.
And everybody I'm talking about, every show out there it's all about them. It's not about the evidence,
or about what the network wants to push,
that's the biggest there is networks. Yeah,
and complete entertainment value. There is no. You could not like when Ghost Hunters. I love them. They're from Rhode Island. Obviously, they're my boys. But you cannot tell me that you can do an investigation and gather in a motel room and cover all the evidence in that like overnight period, and then the next day or two have everything ready to present to the client. That's unless you're using like a whole lot of cocaine. There's no way in hell you're going to cover all this shit in that short period of time.
Well, when you have fishing line and you have all these other little prop things, then it makes it easy, because you can just they really did themselves a disservice by letting that stuff get out, because it proved that they weren't genuine. And even today I see some of them. I don't watch these shows, but if I do happen to see one, like maybe Ghost Hunters, and they're walking around with their $30 little recorder, I'm going, dudes, you're the biggest guys in the world as far as, and you're still walking around with a little $30 RCA recorder. I'm like, come on. I said, I guess you really don't care about getting evidence, because you got to really have some better equipment if you want really good audio. So I don't know. That's why that really drove me to create my own series. And I have so much evidence. I mean, I have years and years worth of stuff that I didn't want to put on Facebook. I didn't want to just throw it on YouTube. I wanted to make a series, and that's why I love Journey to the Past.
So talk about your show. How long have you had your show on the air, Mike?
I started working on it probably in 2018, and then the first episode came out in 21, and so that first one's on Prime Video.
Wow. Oh wow, you're right to Prime, guy. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's on Prime, and it's done really well. It's got like 500,000 views, and that was a really good one. And then, but Prime makes it so hard for you to load and to put things on. To critique every little thing. Like they wouldn't let me use the word ghost on, like I was doing the ghost Julie, and they would reject it. I was like, all right, I'm just going to make a YouTube channel, and I'm going to put all my stuff on YouTube, and that way a lot more people could see it, and they can watch documentaries. All my stuff is documentary style, and it's all the music that's in it is through friends of mine that are professional musicians or folks that I've met over the years, and they let me use their music in the series. So I handpick all the music that's in it. I don't do scary stuff. I do intriguing stuff, but it's all real, and everything you see evidence-wise is real. And so I just like to keep it real, and raw and real. That's how I like to describe it.
Dude, honestly, real history and real life is honestly more scary sometimes than the shit that you're going to try and make up.
It's just, you watch these shows and they're running around in the dark. First of all, I hate IR. I don't like to film in IR. I like color. I like to show real color and real, cinematography and interview. I love interviews from people that were at these locations, that are the owners and have had experiences over the years. I love to go in, capture the evidence, and then share their stories that my evidence connects to. And so that just makes it more interesting. Awesome. Really, my series was made for really serious investigators. That the public, I love that they watch it, but I didn't make it for them. I made it for other investigators to watch a show that you could really watch that you can actually enjoy versus the crap that's out there.
The crap that's on TV, dude, it's not realistic. They've been accused of and like I want to say proven that they were like kind of faking. If there's any kind of like suspect that something was faked, then it was faked. And I can't put any weight on it. It's just like, oh god, once you've been accused of that, like, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of big shows that are
a lot of trust. You're losing a lot of trust.
I mean, you got to know who you're watching, and you know, is this person a seasoned person who's been doing it a long time, or is it just some new young faces? Okay, we got a new show. I have so many friends that were actually did pilots for a lot of the shows, and they would tell me, you know, they were good investigators. Like, well, they wouldn't let us do this, they wouldn't let us do that. You know, it was all according to the production companies. I'm like, yeah, because they don't give a credit. They don't care about the paranormal. They just care about making money.
They don't, dude. There was a gentleman. He has been on a few ghost shows. He's from Rhode Island. I'm not going to mention his name, but he's told me that the first like 2 hours of filming for whatever show they were doing, for either or, was spent doing like reactions. Like, dude, did you hear that? Just doing shit like that. Just filming shit like that.
Yeah.
So right there, you're telling me that this is all bullshit, right?
It's fake.
That's it. It is fake. Yeah.
I know that ghosts are real. I've had so many goddamn experiences. Many experiences. Yeah. So many. You couldn't convince me otherwise. Yeah. But watching these shows, you could completely convince me because if this is like what's the standard of real, then this isn't. It's just not realistic at all.
Right.
No.
You know.
And what's nice is I have a lot of friends that have their own shows, and they're doing just like me. They're putting out real stuff, real evidence. They're doing all the film like me. I mean, I didn't know anything about filming and editing, and I learned how to do all that. Bought all the equipment, spent years doing it and learning the equipment, and doing it myself. And not because I don't like to wait on people. I'm not one that works with a production company and has to wait. Oh yeah, give us 3 months. Yeah, then we'll schedule you. No, that doesn't work for me. I want my stuff done in 3 days. You know, if I'm working down, when I'm going to edit something, I'm going to get it out and put it out. So, and my stuff, some of my documentaries have taken 3 and 4 years to make because I've gone back to these locations with other groups and brought them in. I want to see what other groups can actually catch with me. And
that's awesome.
I don't believe in just going to a place once or twice. Hitting it once or twice and then putting
as many times as possible because every time it's going to be different. Sometimes it could be like holy shit, ton of stuff happens. Other times the same week it's nothing. So it's absolutely incredible the compare and contrast that you can do, and not just you as an investigator, but like you say with other groups. And they're like, oh, you had that experience in that room. Hey, this is what it's kind of almost matching experiences. Or it's completely opposite.
I work with about 5 different groups, established groups, and I handpick these people because of how they investigate and what they've captured over the years. And so those are the people I want to work with because if they're getting apparitions, I want to work with those people because I've gotten apparitions.
They're doing something right, apparently.
They have the same passion, they have the same intent. And so I'm very lucky to have these people that are core friends of mine that have it. And what's great is I don't tell them how to investigate. They don't tell me. We go to a location, they take off, I take off. And when we get together, if we work together a little bit, great. Everybody goes and they hit the place if it's large enough to really just do their own thing. And we get great results. We really do get a lot of stuff. So
that's awesome. So all right, so audio. Like myself, audio for you is like your bread and butter. It's like
I just love it. Yeah.
But what you get every time, what you're most anxious to review at the end of an investigation, means same thing. What is your least favorite piece of equipment that you will never take into an investigation?
I don't believe in these shack hack things. I don't use any toys. I use real equipment. I use really good DSLR cameras, really good recorders, and just video cameras, things like that. I do full spectrum. I've caught some really cool stuff with full spectrum. A lot of people don't even know how to use full spectrum properly. And I love thermal.
With like lighting, you use a particular lighting with the full spectrum?
Well, I actually have a camera that has this really cool feature. and it was only made one time with this camera, and it's called a 2-in-1 shot. And so you have your flash up, ready to go. And when you hit that button, it gives you an IR shot, and 1 second later, it shoots a flash picture. So you get 2 shots in one, and it's so cool because you get a before and after in one hit. And I've captured so many things with that camera. And I love thermal video. I won't use thermal video for pictures; it's a waste of time. But if you're running thermal video and you put it on a tripod in a location, and it's nice and solid, it's not moving around, if you capture something, then it's really interesting. And I did send you a photo of that one thing that we did.
You did. I sent you a message right before I went live. I went right into my email and I saw it the other day, and then I couldn't find it. I was asking you to resend it.
That's okay. I did resend it though. Probably about 30 minutes before I came on the air.
Oh, okay. Oh shit. All right. Well,
that's okay. Hang on. I got a picture right behind me.
Oh, nice.
This is a picture that everybody has to see because it's such a great shot. Now, this was taken. We actually captured a 30 to 40 second video of this woman floating in front of us, and she was holding like a veil. And this is at a very haunted location. And so this is the photo that we captured. And so
wow. Yeah, that's what you sent me. Yeah, right.
Yeah, we were able to take a clip out of the video to show, and you could see her holding like a veil. And it's so weird, like half her body's not there, and the other half is. Really cool. Great photo.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think one of the first apparitions.
If you want to see that actual video, you can go to Prime TV, and you can watch Ghost of the Country Squire Inn, or you can even pull it up on the YouTube channel, Journey Through the Past TV.
Country Squire Inn?
Yes, Ghost of the Country Squire. And it's on if you go to the Journey Through the Past TV YouTube channel, it's on there as well, and you can watch it. And you can actually see the video that we captured of the woman. And when we caught it in thermal, and it had multiple colors, and we really couldn't make it out. And so a really good friend of mine, Eddie, who's a great investigator, he's a radio tech guy. He did X-rays for years. He was able to work it, and then he sent it to a friend that was a retired video specialist, and he was able to take that clip out of the video to make that into that photo. So that's actually the clip of the video. So you can actually watch the actual video itself on the Country Squire Inn. So yeah, definitely.
Where's the Country Squire Inn?
Country Squire Inn is about 60 miles north of Wilmington, where we were talking about Wilmington, North Carolina. Right off of 40, Interstate 40, and it's a winery, it's a restaurant, it's a vintage inn that you can stay at. And so I started investigating there in 2010, and the last investigation I did was 2019. And then from all that evidence, I put that episode together. And there's a ton of stuff on it. EVPs, photos, interviews.
So you investigated a place for 9 years, and you took all that and you put it into one episode.
That's it.
That's amazing, dude. I have places like that. I couldn't begin to tell you how much shit that I have over 9 years at one place. I don't know if I could squeeze that into a documentary.
It took me.
But I have one place like that exists in my heart that I have a key to that I can go into. It's one of the best museums in all the land, and I've had so many like in the moment, holy shit moments where I've either been touched or I feel like a shock, like a static shock, or I've heard we've heard the voice in the disembodied voice, or then so many EVPs, great EVPs. Or spirit boxes. What are your thoughts on spirit boxes? How do you feel about those?
I don't like them. I don't like the noise. I like really quiet, good recordings. And I won't even investigate with more than one other person with me. I used to run a public group, and I would have 10 and 15 people.
That's a lot of people.
And then we would break off and go. And I got so burnt out on having to listen to people's crap and talking and sneezing and this.
How many times, dude, I tell people, whatever you do, don't whisper. Don't whisper. And every fucking time that somebody will, what are you doing?
And
I told you not to do this, and you're doing it.
Yeah, and you just, at this age in my life, because I'm a lot older now, I don't want to waste any time on
Right,
investigations with people that are not as serious as I am about this.
Serious.
And you let them listen to
right.
it. You're like, you hear this?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I
huh?
love to
Do
investigate
you,
by
do you hear how
myself.
that could be like misinterpreted as
Well,
like a
one other person that's a seasoned with me, and they work just like me. Other than that, I will. If I work with 3 people, it drives me crazy because it's too many people, and somebody's making noise and this and that, and it's just wasting my time. So I don't
Yep.
really like to do it.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, it'll be that situation where there'll be extra people, but I just love to really be into it. Like I'll use a sound gun. I'll sit in a place quietly by myself with a
Yep.
sound gun, and my sound gun plugs right into my recorder. So anything I hear, it goes right into my recorder. And so
Yep.
what I do is I put a recorder in front of it, and I actually, anytime I hear anything through the sound gun, I tag it. And that way, I actually coined it a dual EVP, because if I'm hearing it through the recorder and then the recorder is getting it too, then I'm actually getting it 2 different ways at one time. But you can't be there with anybody else moving a chair or burping,
Oh God,
farting, or
dude.
whatever.
Stomach growling, and then like
At least you can tag it. You can say, "Oh, my stomach is growling."
somebody farts. Like I have farted and didn't. I didn't tag
You
it,
know it.
and somebody thought it was like, dude, did you hear that demonic growl? Like that, dude. Like, wait a minute, play that again. No, that's not a growl. No, dude, that's a demon. No, dude, that's my asshole. I'm farting. Oh my God.
It was the loins of Buddy.
Right.
People are so quick to assign anything and everything to the paranormal. Orbs. Go ahead. Orbs. What do you think about orbs, Michael?
No, not unless they have their own color. If there's no flash involved, like I actually have, and I won't call it an orb. I'll call it an energy. And this was up in New Hampshire. My younger brother had passed away at the lake. We had an accident, and he passed away at the lake. And 2 or 3 years later, I went up there, and I actually, in the dark, by the boathouse, where that was his little hangout. He loved to fish. He was a fishing fanatic, and that's how he passed away. I caught this thing. It was like this, crisscross, and it was orange like fire, and it looked like a cross floating in the middle of the air in the dark, and I captured it on photo. And I was like, wow, yeah, that's no fucking orb.
Right.
That was really cool. I've captured him several times. Then my father passed away several years later from cancer. They both loved that lake house. That was their favorite place in the world. And I knew when they both passed away that they would still be there. And after my father passed away, I was up there, and I caught something again by the lake, 1:00 in the morning, right at the shore, by myself, nobody around, and just talking to my dad or my father, my brother, and captured some really cool stuff. So yeah,
that's even more amazing when it's family or it's something tight like that. I've had sometimes
very personal, and if we're doing this as a career and a passion or a hobby, it's very hard to, can I connect with a lot of my? I do have a recording of my father. I have an EVP of him. I have a photo of my brother. I have a haunted farm in Tennessee, Eastern Tennessee. And when I first bought it in 2006, and he had passed away in 2000, we were out in the front. Me and my older brother were digging a hole to put up a light pole. And we were just talking about my younger brother. And I took a picture of my brother working. And in the window looking out at us is my younger brother. And
oh my God,
looking out at us. And he had curly hair, and he wore glasses, and he still had the glasses on. And it's in the window looking out at us.
Wow, so that's wicked creepy.
And he
died when my great grandfather
Tennessee, so it just shows you that spirits can go anywhere. They're not locked into any certain place. So
right. How do you feel about like places that like will like all right so like places that like asylums that house like the spirits of children? Do you believe that they are making money off of this, that they're exploiting a child and a ghost at the same time?
Well, I feel that we've seen it. We've seen it because we've been doing this a long time. We've seen how these places out of nowhere, all of a sudden are now these what I call paranormal tourist spots.
Yes.
you know, you got Waverly Hill and you got all these other asylums and different things like that.
Yep.
I don't know how I feel. To me, I have no interest in investigating because I don't like to go to places where every week or every 7 days a week there's groups going in there.
Yeah.
It wears the spirits out. Really, my biggest thing is I like to investigate places that have never been investigated, and that's primarily what I mostly do. And I've been very fortunate to meet owners of properties, and they've let me come in over the years, and just me come in and bring whoever I want and investigate these places without it being a tourist attraction. I did do Brushy Mountain Penitentiary when they first opened after they had closed. Very, very famous for James Earl Ray being there, the man supposedly that killed Martin Luther King. I don't feel that he did. I think it was more connected to that. But
Government, yeah,
it was
maybe.
really cool because I think we were only like the 6th group in there since they just started opening, and they were under construction. There was no power whatsoever on the property other than the front office. So we were on the entire property in the dark, zero power. And we captured a lot of things. I only went because a good friend of mine, Marty, runs Black Raven Paranormal. His team was going, and they were shorthanded, and he couldn't go. And he asked me if I would go with a friend of mine, and so we did. And we really had a great experience. We caught a lot of things. We probably got between me and my friend Danny, she probably got about 30 EVPs. I got about 30 EVPs that night, and just captured a lot of stuff. But then over the years, I know other teams that went there and I said, "Oh, what'd you get?" And like, we didn't get anything. I'm like,
right.
Like you went all the way there to Tennessee. I mean, it's far to go, and it's $1,500 for the night.
Oh God.
Cheap. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, $1,500.
Crazy.
So I said, you didn't catch anything. So I mean, we brought 12 people, so it was only like $50 or $75 a person. It was worth it to do it. But I don't like to go to prisons. I'm not one.
Yeah, that's what people suffered. I mean, I worked in a prison. I worked in a forensic prison, so mentally ill guys waiting to be evaluated. It had a lot of negative juju to begin with.
Yeah,
you know,
I just never been into prisons. Never. I did one. I did at St. Albans, which is in Virginia. We did, and that's the photo I did send you of that building. Yeah. So the building, it was 4:00 in the morning. There was nobody left. Everybody left. Everybody went back to the hotel. And I just drove around the back. I wasn't very happy because the team I brought in was acting like a bunch of assholes that night. Some of my friends were great, and other ones, they were just like, I'm like, I had trained these people for 4 years, and I brought them there, and all of a sudden they started acting really immature and running around and just talking everywhere and being in other people's recordings. And so I was really annoyed. And so they left, and I said, I'm just going to go around the back and take some pictures. And I did. I took the one shot, and then I saw this blue mist go right in front of me. And I snapped it real quick, and I caught the blue mist going by. And then in the window of that building is this fireball that was like in and out of the bars. It was like outside and inside the building, and I captured it. And that's what I sent you. So and that was really the only thing I caught out of that entire investigation. I didn't get any EVPs, and I felt because I was aggravated that night and thrown off my game with these people that I was babysitting, that it really messed me up. I said, I'm never going to do that again. I'm never. And I ran the Raleigh Paranormal Society for 4 years, and after that, I shut it down. I was like, I still own it and I still run it, but I just I have no interest in working with large groups anymore. People that aren't really.
I've done to help out with other groups and charity efforts. I've helped out and done the public ghost hunts that we do around in different like haunted or historical locations here around Rhode Island. Sure. And there is absolutely zero investigative value to any of it because people have no discipline. Like you say, they fart, they whisper, they giggle, they whisper to each other. They think that you can't hear them, dude. I can't hear you every single time you're whispering. Every time. Yeah. My recorders are that good.
Real investigation. If you raise money for a place, that's great. If it's like a charitable thing, or if it's for a group thing. But me personally, I'm not interested in the public, and I don't care about these public tours.
No.
I don't have time to waste on that stuff.
Right. I used to raise money for different organizations and have the public in, but oh my God, what a, like, not even, I mean, we had some of them were really cool experiences, but
Yeah.
overall, like, oh my God, it was just, like you said, just babysitting. Just
People, and it's good for people that want to see what an investigation is like, but it's not investigation. And so, that there's different realms of paranormal. So I am very strict on where I go and who I work with these days. I just don't have the time to waste anymore. I just want to get really good stuff, and I want every time I go somewhere, I want to have a good experience. So I'm gonna make sure I protect me first and screw everybody else. And I was so kind.
Yeah, right. It's all about your experiences, dude. Honestly. I should say Paranormal. That's my team. I haven't. We've investigated loosely, probably over the last 6 years or so. It's not as I don't seriously like. I used to like post a ton of shit on the Facebook page. I just don't anymore. I mean, like, it's the passion's still there. It's just like I have like a soapbox like this. I can get up on once a week and talk about my my ghost passions with people and stuff. But I'm not really.
I love these. I think it's great.
I'm just this is great. This is just talking about other investigators and other people who experience this stuff and seeing what their experiences are and seeing what they do, or what they don't do for that matter. And just like maybe a better understanding of. I had a guy from Australia, like about a month ago, and it's cool that we like have some of the same, because the same like efforts, because we're all human beings and we all have this response, the way we respond.
They have over there. I have friends in Australia and England, and they have the same drama too. Actually, worse. A lot of their teams are all drama, and they can't find any places to go where people aren't like taking over the places. And
taking over.
Not letting anybody else in. Just very similar things to what we dealt with.
Ownership and like my EVPs are better than your EVPs, and my group is better than yours. Or I've dealt with like other investigators bringing in like boyfriends, and the boyfriends trying to like fake evidence. So, like, come on, dude. Like, this is not my. I'm just done. I'm done with all that shit. Personally, I hate it. So
write books on a lot of stuff. I mean, when I started, unfortunately, I experienced a lot of stuff where teams were. It was a hookup. It was a nookie hookup for married couples to go cheat on each other. And I was like, you're kidding me, right? And I see this crap. I'm like, this is bullshit. I said, I'm here for ghosts.
I knew somebody who did that.
Yeah, I'm sure we all know people. And, destroy their marriages and just use the paranormal as an excuse to be a bunch of dirtbags. And
Tinder, the paranormal version.
Yeah.
Oh,
a friend of mine used to say, I'm not running no swingers club.
Right.
Kind of, though. Kind of.
Yeah. But,
Guy, before we wrap up with our lovely guest this evening, do you have any questions that you would like to throw his way?
Just how can people contact you if they need help or need you to come and investigate their homes?
I don't really do residentials anymore. I stopped doing that a long time ago because my series takes so much time, and I'm just.
I see.
And I did for years, and I helped a lot of people. But then, as the shows were taking off, everybody wanted to have a free paranormal group come in their house and find stuff.
Of course,
they were taking my evidence and they were selling it to TV shows.
Oh God!
I found that out. I was like, "Oh, this is stopping right now." I said, "I can't."
Oh hell no!
And so I stopped that. But if you want to check out any of my documentaries and my series, Journey Through the Past TV on YouTube channel, Michael Chiana on Facebook page, and also the Heritage Hunter Society on Facebook. I also have my own show. It's an EVP show called Haunted Frequencies, where I sit down and play my EVPs and I share the backstories. So I'm just starting that project. I have 1 or 2 episodes up, and that's on YouTube as well. So Haunted Frequencies. If you get a chance, you want to get some real EVP stories.
Nice, awesome.
Great.
So that sounds great.
I mean, it was really nice meeting you guys and
yeah.
Yes.
It is. I love, like I said, I love talking to other investigators from other parts of the country, other parts of the world. I
Oh yeah.
see what we have in common, see what how our experiences match, because it's all really cool, honestly.
Shows like this are great. It's really the best way to see who people are and get to chat with people from all over the United States or other countries. I love it.
Sure.
I think it's great, and keep doing a great job. You guys do a great job.
Appreciate you, Mike. Appreciate you for saying that. Tune in next Tuesday if you want to see us continue to do a great job here on The Ghost and the Goat as we welcome Michael James Walker. He is an experiencer, speaker, podcast, radio guest host. MUFON cases. Let's see, he has 2 MUFON cases. Big UFO guy. Tune in, see more from the skies. I love UFOs. I feel like I don't hear enough on UFOs. I want to hear more because there's so much out there. So tune in for that, guys. Tune in for everything great from Three Dudes Brews and all the good beer that I'm drinking. And with that, for Jai, for Michael, Chiana. This has been Buddy Day, the Ghost and the Goat. Have a great week, folks. Go Red Sox. Who knows what's gonna happen? Go Celtics. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good week.
Take care.
Peace.
Bye.